Good morning. Welcome to a morning outlook on Wednesday, the 7th of June. This is Kim speaking. Let's have a look at the fundamentals before I get on with the technicals. And well, there's not much in the way of fundamentals due out now for the rest of the day. We had the Aussie GDP through the Asian session there. And today we've got the Halifax House Price Index and crude oil inventories. We're building permits and crude oil inventories. None of those really will normally move the markets much at all, so not too worried about those. Of course, I expect a bit more of a thin day again, as investors are waiting for some ECB decision or the ECB decision. UK elections tomorrow, which probably filter through to Friday. And there is a congressional testimony, a former FBI director, about Trump's potential involvement with the Russians, which is due in the next 48 hours. So there's a lot of sort of high-level stuff that traders are waiting for. So with no further ado, let's have a look at the technicals. And the euro dollar, well, at the moment it looks like it could break the highs there at some point and push up towards the monthly R1. It has worked off effectively. There was certainly a divergence across the top there, and it seems to be trying to work it off a little bit. It's consolidating as opposed to failing at the moment, and well, there's that potential. It doesn't mean that it definitely will. The line in the sand is the weekly mid pivot there, which seems to have been holding things pretty well. As we come down to the 60 minutes is probably the clearest for looking at the technical trading for now. And well, we've been down, we've hit the daily pivot, found some support in the moving averages, which to be fair have gone pretty sideward, and as has the price. We're pretty range bound, but what we have got within this is a slightly higher low on, well, two occasions which are confirmed, with a higher high on one of those, so it sort of pitched back into the previous day. Did eventually yesterday evening get back into those the previous day's high sort of zone, and there is a potential for us to push up towards that level and maybe break that towards the R1 at some point today. Now, as I normally say, I will reserve my judgment till post 8 o'clock and just see what happens at that point. If it all sort of starts reversing, for the downside, it's quite simple. I'll be looking, and there's a trend line to be drawn across. If I can draw it, that'd be good. Across the lows here, and that will make the decision really towards the downside, most likely. There may be a little more a different opportunity on the shorter time frames, but that's the main sort of line in the sand there for the downside, maybe. And well, the upside will just at the moment I've got to well, I said got to. I'm erring on the bullish side of this at the moment with what these higher lows, so I may look to see what's going on. I know there's a bundle of buy orders sitting around the 129 area. So from the orders that are sitting, all the shorts that are sitting in this lump at the moment, so there are buy orders sitting up there, but whether we actually get up and chase that, we'll see. But at the moment, it's erring for me more bullish than bearish on this intraday basis. Doesn't mean so we'll continue up that way for much longer, but we'll see. The pound, on the other hand, is a little bit tighter. It's still well, it's putting in these really rangy days and generally coming back to the mean almost. It's very difficult when you bring it down to this 4 hour. You see how choppy it is for whole weeks. It's struggling to move in the ranges. We come down to the 60-minute here, and yeah, we'll have a spike up, a spike down. It seems to be the sort of spikes all over the place and moves up and down. It's quite rangy. Now, that said, it has got a rangy pattern with higher lows, and, well, arguably higher highs here as well, so more recently. So this market could push up. Now, it has done a bit of a Gartley pattern, I'm informed here, with this little ABC after the down move there. So if it rolls from that, well, we'll see. It would, if you weren't trading it, that particularly you could be looking a little bit like the euro there. If it starts breaking these lows here, it could be seen as bearish. I mean, it is below its daily pivot at the moment, which is always a weaker sign, but it's not a guarantee at this point. And if it does roll over, well, potential just a little roll to the bottoms that we've already seen through the Asian session, but a break of those sort of level may see it coming down towards yesterday's lows and the S1 there. Upside, well, upside would obviously be looking at yesterday's highs, R1 sort of zone, if it starts running that way. As I said, isn't it, it's very little to drive it this morning or today. I'm just expecting a bit of a chop, and I'll go with whatever it gives us on these. Now, dollar yen, well, that's certainly from this daily point of view, looking like it could go weaker. It could be weaker. It's already down to its monthly S1 sort of zone here. Could even break lower. It was quite a key point this morning as we're looking through this 4-hourly. Same sort of picture, really. It's just if it comes down to the lows, absolute lows here, it will be diverging as it hits the low. It extremed previously. Chances are pretty strong, I guess, it will come down towards at least test the previous low here. So it's how it reacts from this point. If it starts breaking down, well, it opens the door to further downside there, really. A bounce at this level. I mean, we've seen a sort of divergence move yesterday. We could see the divergence really just continue in a sense, but as I say, it's on the bigger time frames that potential divergence. But we'll see how we get run from there. Okay, that's the yen, Aussie dollar. Whoops, changing the wrong chart. Let's change this one and flick through to the dailies here. Aussie's taken a stronger route. It's already on its 4th day up here, which is almost a rarity. He says pushing up much stronger than it has recently. It's a bit mixed data coming through the Asian session there. The data, the GDP wasn't. It's back to sort of the growth levels are back to 2009, but other numbers, internal numbers there, are still relatively strong for it, and we're seeing the reaction of those levels. Now, already now through the monthly R1 and through the weekly R2 there, so pushing up towards the weekly R3, which may hold it if it gets to that sort of level. But as we sit at the moment, we'll just have to wait and see how this is. But high lows, higher highs, clearly in a reasonable trend at the moment, with more potential, I guess. We're already above yesterday's highs, already hit the R1. Haven't hit daily pivot. A sell-off may see us come back towards that sort of zone later in the day, maybe. But at the moment, towards the bullish side. And finally, the Canadian dollar. Let's have a look here. Oil's come back a little bit yesterday. Canadian dollar today, should I say, and the Canadian dollar, well, it's strengthening against the US as it's pulling down here. US dollar weakening a little bit. And it's not a major increase in the oil price. It's just really looks like it's dollar weakness as much as anything else at the moment. So too much uncertainty. So we're seeing this certainly look like it wants to head further south. It's broken the trend line that I drew on the earlier part of the week. And as I said, it's looking pretty southward. Well, it's really gone this morning now. I was looking a little while earlier. It's about halfway down this candle. Now it's pushing down through yesterday's lows. Next sort of target on that would be the S1, maybe down to that weekly pivot level in green below there. So let's have a look. That's the S1 sort of zone on the weekly pivots. There's also that 500, so may find a bit of support off that level, but certainly looking weak here at the moment. Okay, that's it for me. I've given you the fundamental data. The one I'm most interested on the one is, as ever, I'm quite interested in seeing what this euro does. See if we start or can continue post 8 o'clock break to this upside. And if it can break those prior highs there, it might get a bit more of a kicker. Have a great one. Bye for now.